Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is a little different from my normal information technology content, but I think it's a topic that can help people in any profession. Recently, there has been a lot of discussions about workplace fairness, discrimination, retaliation, favoritism, and employees feeling targeted during their first 90 days on the job. Many states have some form of at-will employment, which can leave employees feeling vulnerable during their first 90 days. In some situations, an employee may feel that a manager is creating a negative narrative about their performance that doesn't match their actual work results or performance metrics. Before an employee even realizes what's happening, HR may have already heard concerns from the manager without hearing the employee's side of the story. And before you know it, you're out of a job. If you failed to document your work, track your performance metrics, save emails, or keep records of what was happening, you may find yourself in a difficult position later if you decide to challenge what occurred or file a complaint with an agency such as the EEOC. Whether you're in information technology, healthcare, finance, customer service, or another profession, this video may help you. Before we begin, I am not an attorney, and this video is not legal advice. I am simply sharing my personal experience and what I've learned from it. Who this video is for? This video is not for employees who are failing to perform their jobs. This video is for employees who have measurable performance, data showing they are doing their jobs, meeting expectations, or even outperforming others, yet they still feel like their manager is building a case against them. Maybe you're receiving criticism that doesn't match your actual performance. Maybe expectations keep changing. Maybe you're being held to standards that other employees aren't being held to. Maybe you're receiving a negative review despite strong performance metrics. If that sounds familiar, this video is for you. Warning signs you should pay attention to. Some warning signs may include receiving criticism that is not supported by facts, your manager constantly changing expectations, being denied training that other employees receive, being scrutinized differently than coworkers, being excluded from opportunities, having accomplishments ignored, receiving negative reviews despite strong performance metrics. These are just a few signs that you should start documenting what's happening. Document everything. The first thing you need to do is document everything. Save emails, save chat messages, save performance metrics, reports, keep records of completed work, document training requests, document conversations and meetings whenever possible. One thing I learned is that when performance reviews, HR investigations, or employment disputes happen months later, people often remember conversations differently. Documentation helps keep discussions focused on facts instead of opinions. Don't rely solely on memory. Keep records, and you can also keep recordings in the workplace. A note about recordings. I also want to briefly discuss recordings. In some states, recordings may be legal if one party to the conversation consents to the recording. In other states, everyone involved may need to consent. For example, in my state, it generally follows a one-party consent rule, meaning a person who is part of the conversation and typically recorded without obtaining permission from the other participants. However, laws vary from state to state. Before recording any conversations, make sure you understand the laws where you live and work. Do your own research and make sure any documentation you collect is obtained legally. Gather your metrics. This is one of the biggest mistakes employees make. When a manager says you're underperforming, don't automatically assume they're right. Look at your actual numbers. How many tickets have you completed? How many projects have you finished? How many customer requests have you resolved? How do your numbers compare to the rest of the team? Data matters. Facts matter. Metrics matter. If someone claims you're underperforming, your performance data may tell a completely different story. Respond professionally. If you have a negative review, write up. Counseling statement or corrective action, don't panic and do not sign it. Read it carefully. Gather your information. Gather your documentation. Gather your metrics. Prepare a professional response. Ask for clarification when criticism is vague. Ask for examples. Remember, your goal is not to argue, your goal is to create a factual record. Consider reporting your concerns. If you believe you're experiencing discrimination, harassment, retaliation, or unequal treatment, consider following your company's internal reporting procedures. For many organizations, that means contacting human resources. Now, let's be honest. Nobody knows what will happen after you file a complaint. Every company is different. Every HR department is different. Every manager is different. Sometimes HR investigates and takes corrective action. Sometimes nothing changes. Sometimes relationships become more strained. Sometimes management actions receive greater scrutiny because HR is now aware of the concerns. There are no guarantees. However, filing a discrimination complaint creates documentation showing that your concerns were brought to the attention of the company. That documentation can become important later if the situation continues. Using ChatGPT to help draft your HR discrimination complaint. Another thing I want to mention is something that can save you a lot of time. Many people know something isn't right, but they struggle to put their concerns into writing. If that's you, consider using ChatGPT to help you organize your thoughts. If you don't feel comfortable using AI, which is ChatGPT, you can just come up with your own words. But for those that don't mind using ChatGPT, you can just simply type the key points of what's happening, just type the facts. And if you don't feel like typing, ChatGPT has a microphone feature that allows you to speak naturally. You can simply talk about what you're experiencing and chat and help you organize your thoughts into a professional draft. Let me do a quick demonstration. So this is what ChatGPT looks like, and of course, it's free. So just type a few things in the chat. And then also here is the microphone. Or you can just press this and click allow and then just start talking and chat will record you. Let's go ahead and type out in this demonstration. So let's type a few things. Let me tell you what happened at work. My manager gave me a negative review despite my performance metrics, showing that I completed more work than several members on the team. My metrics show that I rank in the top 5 out of 11 technicians on my team. I have been with the company for 75 days and my 90-day review is approaching. I was denied additional training that other employees received. I feel like I am being held to a different performance standard than the rest of my team. When I review the team's tickets, I see other technicians with unresolved tickets that are 4 or 5 months old. I currently have only 5 open tickets from the current month, and my manager continues to question why they are still open, even though the ticket notes show. I am waiting for a response from the end user. Some members of the team constantly perform near the bottom of the performance metrics each month, but they have been employed with the company for years. I believe I may be experiencing discrimination based on my race. I feel that my manager is portraying my performance inaccurately and that the negative review contains information that does not reflect my actual performance metrics. I need to protect myself and not let my manager set me up for termination. Please create an email for me to send to HR. I want to file a discrimination complaint against my manager, Nancy Smith. You're going to click the arrow pointing upward. And let's see what ChatGPT says. And as you can see here, it has created a formal complaint that you can send to human resources. I'll let you just overlook what Chat generated. So the important thing is that ChatGPT is helping you organize your information. You are providing the facts. Once the draft is created, just read through it carefully. If you need to add anything additional, ChatGPT will update it for you until the letter is perfect to send to HR. Make sure the dates are accurate, make sure the incidents are accurate, make sure the details are accurate, then edit the draft as needed before sending it. Think of ChatGPT as a tool that helps you organize your thoughts and save time. What might take hours to write from scratch can often be drafted in just a few minutes. My personal experience. In my own experience, I believe I was being unfairly targeted, despite having performance metrics showing I was performing in my job. Rather than quitting, I decided to fight for my job professionally. I gathered my metrics, I documented my concerns, I collected supporting information. I submitted a formal complaint through the proper channels, which was HR. What happened next? In my situation, the behavior that I believe was targeting discriminatory and the harassment stopped. Management became more careful in their interactions with me. There was greater attention paid to the documentation and procedures. Now, I'm not saying that will happen for everyone. Every situation is different, but I do believe employees should know they have options. No matter how frustrated you become, remain professional. Don't send angry emails. Don't make threats. Don't attack coworkers. Don't attack management. Stay focused on facts. Stay focused on documentation. Stay focused on performance. Professionalism gives your concerns credibility. If you eventually decide to file an EEOC charge, understand that you have options. Some people represent themselves during the EEOC process, while others choose to hire an attorney. Do your research and choose the option that makes the most sense for your situation. Final thoughts. Before I close this video, I want to be clear about something. Everyone's situation is different. If you believe you are being discriminated against, unfairly targeted at work, there are several paths you can take. You can decide to do nothing and see what happens. You can decide the environment isn't worth the stress and begin looking for another job. Or you can decide to fight for your job. This video is for the people who want to fight for their job, the people who know they're performing, the people who have metrics, documentation, and evidence showing they are doing their job, the people who don't want to be pushed out without defending themselves professionally. If that's you, my advice is simple. Document everything. Track your performance. Keep your records. Keep your recordings. Use your company's reporting procedures when appropriate, and make sure your side of the story is documented. In my own experience, I chose to fight for my job instead of simply walking away. This isn't theory. These are the steps I actually took when I felt my job was on the line years ago. Whether you stay, leave, or fight for your position is a personal decision, but if you choose to fight for your job, make sure you do it professionally, factually, and with documentation to support your position. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need this information. And as always, I'll see you in the next video.